Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Juwan Rohan, and this is the Misguided Podcast. We're intend to guide you to a better future. Today's quick guide is about how to avoid an Airbnb eviction. All right, so I'm going to give you a crazy story in a quick amount of time, and I could go into more detail later, or you can ask questions or whatever. But crazy story that recently happened to me is, and I already knew this risk going into the situation, so it's not a huge deal. Obviously, it was a little bit stressed at the moment, but me and my business partner, we decided to set up an Airbnb in personal name. So he set it up in his personal name, which obviously carries its own risk in any business, right? But in lease contracts, in any lease contract, they state that you can't short-term rental, you can't sublet it, you can't rent it out, re-rent it out, right? Or rent out the room or whatever. That's normal. We knew that. So we had set up an Airbnb in the personal name, going into it with hopes that, the unit's in a good location, will be okay. With COVID, leasing offices, the people are usually working from home now, will be okay. We have someone in the apartment complex that lives there that we know that can kind of help us if anything happens. Call them the runner, right? So we're okay. We weighed the pros and cons, right? And we're like, okay, let's just do it. Let's try it. Plus, my partner, he put it in his name, but he doesn't really ever plan to rent an apartment. He plans to own, as he is already a real estate investor. So we knew the risk, and we were like, all right, let's do it. Anyways, one day, and it's actually on a Super Bowl Sunday, which is crazy. Leasing offices already closed on Sunday. Why are you working on Super Bowl Sunday? Like, usually half the world is drunk, especially in Texas. So, and so we get a call, and the leasing manager is like, hey, like, I know you're running the Airbnb, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to serve you an eviction in 3 days. Well, what a day. I'm already like half drunk at this point. But all right, so then we get a notification on our doorbell camera, and it's the leasing office, and she's like knocking on the door, and then all of a sudden, I had a renter in there. He opens it, and she goes, oh, okay, just wanted to make sure this was an Airbnb. Turns around, walks away. I was like, this is on camera. And my renter is just sitting there like, okay. As I messaged my renter, just being totally honest with him. He was already cool, so I was just like, yo, so she just threatened us with an eviction. My renter didn't even say anything, but she just threatened us with the eviction, giving us 3 days. Your rental ends in 3 days. I'll let you know if you need to move out earlier, whatever, refunds, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, okay, no worries. Just let me know. Super cool. But I was like, he was like, that was pretty weird, honestly. Like, the way she just kind of handled that. Like, that doesn't prove that it's an Airbnb. You just open the door and see someone you're not familiar with in a 200, 300 apartment complex. No chance you know everyone in there. It's Super Bowl Sunday. It could be friends. Like, this did not confirm anything. He didn't say it was Airbnb. My business partner didn't say it was Airbnb. The only thing she had on us was that she saw the Airbnb on Airbnb. She says she regularly checks Airbnb site and Craigslist to see if her units are being relisted. I believe that. But yeah, so anyways, 3 days go by. We're waiting for the eviction. Nothing. 5 days go by. Nothing. A week. Nothing. I'm like, this is kind of making me a little bit more nervous, right? Not hearing anything. I'm like, is she talking to lawyers? Like, the eviction process is a huge thing, right? And it takes money. So a lot of people don't want to do it. So I was like, and I've also never heard of just being evicted off the back. Like, I heard this story so many times from business partners, friends. They've been evicted or not been evicted. They've been threatened with it. But usually it always starts with a warning. There's a warning. Hey, stop the Airbnb or you'll be evicted. That didn't come. So she was tripping. It's like she almost didn't know what she was doing. So anyways, week and a half goes by. I'm like, all right, we just got to hit her up, bro. Like, come on, let's get it in writing. Don't call. We'll email. So we hit her up, and her response was, oh, yeah, sorry, I just haven't gotten to it. I've been at another leasing office. I'll get to it. Okay. She was like, but on the other hand, I see that you took the listing down, so I'll just give you a warning, and we could call it that. Okay. And her warning was, uh, if I see it again, it's not even an eviction. She was like, you have to move out within 30 days, and you don't get your security deposit back. We never put a security deposit back. She waived it, and we were like, okay, I like that. Anyways, it's not gonna be on the record. Like, I like that. But I was just like, let's try and talk her into it. Now she seems in a better mood. So I was like, all right, well, can we change the lease to another person? Like, if I go find someone who's willing to stay midterm, traveling nurses, a student. We're in a great area in Houston. So there's everything around, multiple options. She was like, yeah, of course. They just need their ID and a background check. I was like, I don't really want to, pressure people into doing a background check. Like, blah, blah. ID, yeah, totally. But so what's the easier way? Like, because I didn't want to do the legwork. I was like, all right, well, can we do like midterm, short term? And every person that comes in, we give you their ID, like, which we were already checking IDs before they checked in. So, like, what if we just made her a part of the process, right? She was kind of like, yeah, that sounds really good. And I would definitely do that. But because the unit is like it's like a no sex offender zone, right? It's like right across the street from the school. She was like, there has to be background checks, like, legally. I was like, oh, you are right. And I hate it. But yeah, you're right. And so I was like, okay, I respect that. So we can't do that. So yeah, there's really no like Airbnb. I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to pressure the situation. She seemed cool about it, but let's just move. I already had another Airbnb in plan. So I was like, let's just go set that one up and we should be good. And then so yeah, we were like, all right, what can we do to break the lease? And we had about 6 months left. I was like, I don't want to pay rent for every 6 months. She was like, okay, all we need is a 30-day notice and a reletting fee. Reletting fees are 85% of the rent. And so that's pretty much what it was. We were like, all right, 30-day notice here. We'll move out April 1st. Here's our reletting fee. Boom, boom, bam. We flew down there to Houston, got an U-Haul, drove that motherfucker to Austin to the other Airbnb I had already set up. And we moved from a 2-bedroom to a 1-bedroom. So we had extra stuff. Probably the easiest setup because we already had the stuff. Everything's already built. Easy peasy. So, yeah, and Austin is already doing way better than Houston. So, yeah, that was a crazy story that ended up not being so crazy. It ended up kind of being a blessing. But, yeah, so you got to weigh the pros and cons of putting it in your personal name. Now, you're probably wondering, well, if I'm not going to put it in my personal name, what am I going to do? What are the other steps? How can I get into this rental arbitrage without taking this type of risk? Well, if you want to know, I have to pay for that answer. No. Just hit me up. I'm happy to answer any questions. Schedule a consultation call with me. Happy to go over anything. But there are definitely ways, and that's what we're doing at the other Airbnb. So, yeah, you heard it here. This is the Misguided Podcast, where we intend to guide you to a better future. My name is Juwan. I'll see you on the other side.